Good morning, students. In our last class, we have completed Unit 1, and in that, I have given you all the question answers also, and I hope you have written them neatly in your notes, and I hope you all have completed the notes of Unit 1, A reading, B reading, and C reading. So, today we are moving to the new unit, and the theme of the unit is Wit and Humor. In that A reading, the name of the lesson is The Dear Departed Part 1. So, if you see in your textbook, Wit and Humor, look at the picture and answer the questions that follow. So, what is the picture here? It is a picture in a house where cat as well as rat are there, and the rat is holding a gun in its hand and it is pointing towards the cat, isn't it? So see here, what do you understand from the picture? What do we understand here? The rat is pointing, means the rat is pointing cat with the help of a gun, that it is warning it that it will kill the cat. Who is warning? Rat is warning the cat that it will kill. Can you recall any comic associated with these animals? If you see this cat as well as rat, do we recall any comic thing here? Yes, we all know it is a famous cartoon show, Tom and Jerry, isn't it? If you see this, don't you remember Tom as well as Jerry? Yes, because even the Tom and Jerry, this comic Tom and Jerry also, what they will do, they'll be always quarreling and creating something or the mess, isn't it? Even here also these two are doing the same. So can you imagine what may be the conversation between the rat and the cat? So it may be anything, like the cat may be pleasing the rat not to kill him, and whereas the rat may be blackmailing him if cat chases rat, it may be warning that if you chase me, I will kill you. It may be something or any of the conversation, isn't it? So how do people differ in enjoying humor? Young and old, rural and urban, literates and illiterates. So there is a difference how people enjoy comics. So generally, what we know, children will enjoy comics a lot. Even if you think about this Tom and Jerry show itself, children enjoy watching it, whereas elders like your parents, they may scold you what every time you will be watching this cartoon. So there is a difference how people will receive these this type of humor. So young may be different in thinking it humor, and old may be thinking in a different way, whereas a rural, urban, or a literate or an illiterate, so there is a quite difference in thinking of about this situation. So now let's read a play in which the characters behave in a humorous way. So by this, what we can understand, the lesson is in the form of a play. So see here, The Dear Departed 1. It is a one-act play. And see here, characters. What all the characters are there, they have given here. Mrs. Amelia Slater and Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan. These two are sisters. Who? Mrs. Amelia Slater and Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan are sisters. Whereas Henry Slater and Ben Jordan, these are husbands of Amelia and Elizabeth. So who is the husband of Amelia Slater? Henry Slater is the husband of Amelia Slater, and whereas Ben Jordan is the husband of Elizabeth Jordan. And who are there? Victoria Slater, a girl of 10, Amelia's daughter. Victoria Slater is a daughter of Amelia Slater. And who is the other person? Abel Merriweather. He is the father of Amelia and Elizabeth. So it is these characters are related to one family itself. Abel Merriweather is the father of Amelia and Elizabeth. Amelia Slater, Elizabeth Slater are sisters. Henry Slater and Ben Jordan are the husbands of Amelia and Elizabeth, whereas Victoria Slater is the daughter of Amelia Slater. So when the curtains raises, Mrs. Slater is seen laying the table. She is a vigorous, plump, red-faced, vulgar woman prepared to do any amount of straight talking to get her own way. She is in black. She goes to the window, opens it and calls into the street. So when the curtains rises means when the scene in our lesson, when the scene starts, what is the situation? Mrs. Slater, she is laying the table means she is setting the table. And which type of woman she is? She is a vigorous, plump, red-faced and vulgar woman prepared to do anything amount of straight talking to get her own way. Means for herself she is ready to do anything and ready to do any vulgar language. So she is in black. She goes to the window and opens it and calls into the street. So see what she is talking. Mrs. Slater, sharply she is in a sharply means in a sharp voice she is calling, Victoria, Victoria, die here, come in, will you? So she is calling her daughter to come in. Means Victoria, a precocious girl often dressed in colors, enters. So as this girl Victoria was outside in the street, her mother Slater, she opened the window and she was calling Victoria in a sharp voice to come in. So actually how this Victoria is, she is a precocious girl and she used to dress in colors often, and she enters into the room. Mrs. Slater, I am amazed at you, Victoria. I really am. Be off now and change your dress before your Aunt Elizabeth and your Uncle Ben come. So what she is telling, I am amazed at you, Victoria. And she is asking to change her dress before their Aunt Elizabeth and Uncle Ben comes. It would never do for them to find you in colors with grandfather lying dead upstairs. So what she is telling, Slater is telling, if they see you in a colorful dress, they will be, see here, it would never do for them to find you in colors, means they'll be feeling very bad if they see you in colors, because your grandfather is lying dead upstairs and you're in a good colorful dress. So that's why she is asking Victoria to change her dress. Then Victoria, what are they coming for? They haven't been here for ages. Then Victoria is telling why they are coming here. They haven't been here means they are not coming here for so many days. Then Mrs. Slater, they are coming to talk over poor grandpa's affairs. Your father sent them a telegram as soon as we found he was dead. A noise is heard. Then what Mrs. Slater was telling to Victoria, they are coming here to talk about your poor grandfather's affairs. And why they are coming is your father has sent them a telegram as we knew your grandfather was dead. By that time they heard a noise, and Henry Slater, a stopping heavy man with a dropping moustache, enters. He is wearing a black tailcoat, grey trousers, a black tie and a bowler hat. By that time they heard a sound. Who was there? Henry Slater. And how he was? A stopping heavy man with a dropping moustache, means big moustache, enters and he is how he what he was wearing. He is wearing a black tailcoat and a grey trousers and a black tie and a bowler hat. Then Henry, I am wondering if they'll come at all. When you and Elizabeth quarreled, she said she didn't never step foot in your house again. Then Henry is telling, I am wondered how they will come, because when Elizabeth and Amelia quarreled, she said, what did she say? Elizabeth said that she will never step foot in our house. Then how she will be coming? So Henry is telling like that. Then Mrs. Slater, she'll come fast enough after her share of what our fathers left. You know how hard she can be when she likes. Where she gets it from, I can't tell. Then Slater is telling, she will come fast enough because she want to take the share of what our father has left for us. And also she is telling, you know how hard she can be when she likes. So where she gets it from, so she is telling, if she want anything from means if she want to do anything, she will get adjusted, and I don't understand how she can where she gets it from, I can't tell. So how she will do all these things, I can't understand. Slater is telling, if Elizabeth want, as she want the share of their father, for that she can do anything, means she will forget all those things and she will manage to come. So how they will do, I don't understand. So the Slater was telling like that. Henry, I suppose it's in the family. Then a pause. Where are my slippers? Then Henry was telling, no, it is in the family. I suppose it's in the family. So he is telling, this type of nature is in your family itself. Like that Henry was telling. After that a pause was there and he was asking, where are my slippers? Then Mrs. Slater, what did she say? In the kitchen. But you want a new pair. Those old ones are nearly worn out. You don't seem to realize what it's costing me to bear up like I'm doing. My heart's fit to break when I see the little trifles that belong to father lying around, and think he'll never use them again. Briskly, here, you'd better wear the slippers of my father's now. It's lucky he'd just got a new pair. So what happened? When Henry was asking about his slippers, Slater was telling, they are in the kitchen, but you want a new pair. So why she is telling is, those slippers are old ones and nearly worn out, means breaking down, and you don't seem to realize what it's costing me to bear up like I am doing. And she is telling, my heart's fit to break when I see the little trifles that belong to the father lying around, and think he'll never use them again. So briskly, here, you'd better wear the slippers of my father now. It's lucky he'd just got a new pair. So she's telling Henry that as your slippers are about to break down, you can use the slippers of my father, as he will never use them again. And she's telling that it is a lucky thing that he had got a new pair of slippers recently. So then Henry, they'll be very small for me, my dear. Then when she said to use the slippers of her father, Henry said, these slippers will be very small for me. Then Mrs. Slater, they will stretch, won't they? I'm not going to have them wasted. She has finished laying the table. Henry, I have been thinking about that bureau of my father's that's in his bedroom. You know, I always wanted to have it after he died. Then what did Mrs. Slater was telling? Henry was telling that these slippers are very small. So Slater is telling, They will stretch, won't they? Means she's telling, won't the slippers stretch? Why? Because she don't want to waste those slippers. And she has saying those words, she has finished laying the table. And Henry, she is telling to Henry that I have been thinking about that bureau of my father's that's in his bedroom. You know, I always wanted to have it after he did. So she is telling to Henry that the bureau which is in my father's room, I wanted to take it when after his death. Then Henry, you must arrange with Elizabeth when you are dividing things up. Then when she said like that, means when Slater said she want to take the bureau of her father, then Henry said you must arrange, means you should talk and get adjusted with Elizabeth when dividing these things. Then Mrs. Slater, Elizabeth's that sharp, she'll see I am after it and will drive a hard bargain over it. Then what Slater was telling, Elizabeth's that sharp, so she's telling she knows she will she'll see me see I am after it and she will drive a hard bargain over it. So she's telling that Elizabeth will understand and she'll know that I am back of that bureau and she will start bargaining over that, means she will ask that she want to take that bureau. So till here the play is, and we'll be continuing the remaining part of the play in our next class. I hope you have understood till here. If you have any doubts, you can message me, and we'll be continuing the remaining part of the lesson in our next session. Thank you. Have a good day.